Hello everyone, and we have another publishing panel, this time at New York Comic Con. And major shout out to Veers Watch on Twitter. I actually didn't know about this until Alex, Star Wars Explained, made his video on this panel. And then I immediately went over to Veers Watch's feed over on Twitter. Give him a follow, by the way. He's a fantastic Star Wars fan account. And yeah, we got some good stuff. It's not quite as much as what we got at New York, or at San Diego Comic-Con, excuse me. But there is at least a couple things that makes me want to make this video in the first place. Let's go in order of excitement. We did have a few new Star Wars adventures. I personally don't read those, but if you have younger siblings who are of that age, or if you have kids, the Star Wars adventures, to my understanding, are fantastic, especially for initiating new Padawans into the cult that is Star Wars fandom. We got a little bit more updates on the Women of the Galaxy book by Amy Ratcliffe, host of the Lattes with Leia podcast, and she's also going to be hosting one of the stages at Celebration Chicago, and she's a fantastic fan. She's writing a book about 75, I believe, women in the galaxy, and we got a little bit more information on that. Women of the Galaxy also had its own panel yesterday. I urge you guys to go and check that out. They've got individual page spreads for each female character in Star Wars, along with wonderfully fantastic artwork, also done by women and non-binary artists. And yeah, I mean, it looks exciting, and I definitely pre-ordered it. I've already had it pre-ordered on Amazon. Let's see, your next most exciting thing would have to be, let's go with Master and Apprentice. We didn't really get that much more information on Master and Apprentice, but we got the cover art for it, because as you guys know, we had just the standard, Master and Apprentice, Starfield, blue Star Wars logo, whatever, cover not final, and that's about it at San Diego Comic-Con. Well, we now have the actual cover art, and it looks good. It actually gave me serious, mid-2000s EU vibe in the way that they're presenting this cover. It just gave me that vibe of what I would normally see at a Barnes & Noble back in the mid-2000s, just of the acres of Legends novels. And, yep, I'm still excited. I was hoping that it depicts a very Phantom Menace era Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, and that might mean that we're going to be getting something closer to Phantom Menace, which I'm a little bit disappointed by, but maybe they literally left Mandalore after Sabine and Obi-Wan had their little fling. They left Mandalore and went to Naboo. So, like I said, I was kind of hoping for that story to be maybe trending a little bit younger, something more akin to the Obi-Wan and Anakin comic that we got way back in 2014 or 2015. That's kind of what I was hoping for, but either way, I'm incredibly excited because it's Claudia Gray, and Claudia Gray is, in my opinion, the best novelist out of Legends or the new Disney era books. And then second from top in excitement level is the new Vader series. We're unfortunately getting the end to Charles Soule's current comic series, which will end at issue 25 in December, I believe, is when that releases, is when the last issue of that will drop. However, we're getting a new Vader comic series written by Chuck Wendig, who did the most recent Vader annual, and I really enjoyed that specific issue of the annual. And I personally actually really enjoy Chuck Wendig's writing. Some people didn't like Aftermath, but that's fair. But I personally did enjoy those stories, and I'm really excited for the subject matter, which is the shadow of Vader, is what they're calling this series of comics, where we're going to not be concentrating on the character of Vader, but the echoes of him, or the shadow of Vader. We're going to be seeing the Acolytes of the Beyond from the Aftermath trilogy, which Chuck Wendig also wrote. We're getting a New Republic pilot's reaction to the revelation of Leia's parentage around the era of Bloodline, which is about 6 years pre-TFA. And a couple of other different ones. I'm not quite sure exactly what else. But either way, I'm excited about that because that's Shadow of Vader. We're talking about what is... We already know quite a bit about Space Goebbels. What we don't know about Space Goebbels is necessarily what is his impact on the rest of the galaxy after he dies, after he's defeated, quote unquote, at the Battle of Endor. But with all of that being said, we are getting, from my personal second favorite author in the Star Wars universe, Alexander Freed, who did the Rogue One novelization as well as the first Battlefront book, Alphabet Squadron. Real talk, it's because of the X-Wing books that I became the mega Star Wars nerd that I am now. Some friend of mine handed me a copy of Solo Command, which is the 7th book in the series of X-Wing novels. And I read it. I read like the first quarter of it or so, and then realized that I was reading them completely out of order. So then I immediately went to Half Price Books and grabbed all of them. This was when I was like 13 or 14 maybe. And I just completely devoured every single one of those books. And it's because of that I got so excited about the extended universe of Star Wars and got into the RPGs, the tabletop RPGs, and got into the video games and all that kind of stuff. And played KOTOR for the first time. It's because I got that one random book because a friend's brother of mine actually handed me some random Star Wars book that he had lying around the house when he found out I was a Star Wars guy. Or a Star Wars kid. Anyways, going back to the actual book itself, Alphabet Squadron, it revolves around 5 ex-Rebel / New Republic pilots. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. But they're hunting down a Imperial task force after the end of Return of the Jedi, which is exactly what Wraith Squadron did in the X-Wing books. And when they were trying to find Zingir's thing, Zinj's, Warlord Zinj. I'd never bothered to actually learn how to say that properly. It's like S, or it's like Z something 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 J something. I don't remember. But either way, it's basically what could be the Wraith Squadron series, where it's like commando pilots all hunting down this random task force of Imperial of the Imperial Remnant, and I'm really hyped up for it. And it looks like each individual pilot is going to be flying a B-Wing, a U-Wing, a A-Wing, a Y-Wing, and an X-Wing. Yes, please. Because you can get, you can do that kind of Power Ranger-y feel, that kind of Gundam-like feel where it's like, the Y-Wing pilot is the big tanky guy, and the U-Wing pilot is the medical professional, and the B-Wing pilot is the heavy gunner, and the X-Wing is the leader and the all-around good guy, and then the A-Wing is the sniper, and you can do this kind of really fun typecasting, stereotypical, like, this person goes here, and that person goes there, and that person goes there. And at least to me, yeah, that might be formulaic and boring for some people, but to me, that's actually really exciting because that allows me to just relax and see how each individual character fits with each other, as opposed to wondering, okay, so is this character going to fulfill this role in a tactical situation, or is that character going to fulfill that, or this or the other thing? I can just concentrate on what the characters are doing. So overall, this is all very, very exciting news. Let me know what you guys think about all of this publishing news. What are you most excited for? And do you want me to start trying to get into the comics in terms of reviewing them? Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are interested in that, because the problem is that I'd have to go back a part of me wants to go all the way back to the beginning of the Disney era comic runs and then just review those, but that's a lot of work, and it's a lot of older content that a lot of people have already read, and that I've read, years before now too. I've been on and off on reading some of the comics. Like, I haven't read any of the Dr. Aphra stuff. I've very rarely kept up with the main line of comics. Even though that I want to, I just don't have the time to get around to it right now. And I don't know. Should I start reviewing with Shadow of Vader and the Age of series that was released at that was announced at San Diego Comic-Con? Let me know. Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling because I gotta go and do more wedding stuff. Yay! Week and a half away. Not even a week and a half away. Like 8 days away. Whee! Wedding crunch time. Anyways, I'm gonna edit this and get this up on the channel. Thank you guys as always. And as always, may the force be with you. Take care.